Hey there guys, welcome to this week's episode of Speak Out Stand Strong, and I would just like to welcome all of you back to Oswego because I'm back there now. I'm not home anymore, as you can see from the not bunk bed background. But, so I'm back, had my first classes today, and went pretty well. Got my lab canceled today, so I'm happy about that. So I have all the time in the world today to edit and upload this and hopefully share it out actually on Monday instead of whenever I have been doing it before. So, today I want to talk about something I've kind of been avoiding for a while just because it's a big thing and I was waiting for a day when I didn't have anything else to talk about. But Senate has just released their new bipartisan plan for immigration, and so I figured I'd talk about it. You know, this is just a plan, it hasn't been voted on yet, it hasn't gone to Congress, it hasn't gone through, but this is what they are currently thinking of doing to fix the whole immigration system that kind of sucks, which they do acknowledge in that. So, I figured I'd talk about it and see how much I do or don't agree with it. So, basically, there's 4 pillars, they're calling them. So, like, the 4 basic parts of the whole plan are they want to create a tough but fair path to citizenship. You know, makes sense. Kind of want to make it fair and not ridiculously difficult to get into because that kind of defeats the purpose. They want to reform the system to build the economy and strengthen American families, which they don't actually really go into detail in saying what that actually means, other than the obvious. So, number 3, they want to create effective employment verification, so like that way employers can't hire illegals and it's harder to fake being legal when you're not and all that stuff. And the 4th one is they want to establish a process for the future to bring people in and at the same time protect the workers that are actually working right now, both immigrants and non-immigrants. So I'm going to look at each of those 4 a little bit closer and go from there. So the first one is the path to citizenship. Basically, what they say, the whole new system is contingent upon securing borders and combating visa overstays. But like the big problem with that is, how do you know your borders are secure? I mean, like, they're gonna give Border Patrol all this technology and they're gonna send more drones down and more people and all this stuff, but, you know, how do you really know it's secure? Because if there is, kind of like before, like I've said, if something's on the black market, you can get it. Or if something's in the market, you can get it in the black market. Same thing, if there's a way into somewhere, someone's gonna find out an illegal way to do it. It just happens. And it all depends on whether you can actually do that. And one thing I did sort of kind of like, and am not sure how it's going to work, but they said to help figure out if the borders actually are secure, they're going to, like, talk back and forth with some of the border towns, and because they're the first people who would know. But, you know, that all depends on who actually makes up the people who they're talking to, because depending on what bent the town has towards immigration, they could tell them stuff, whether it's true or not, or they'll see different things depending. So that's kind of got to be a, like, not too biased commission. Like, they've got to have people from all sorts of backgrounds and all sorts of opinions on it to actually have it work, I think. I will say, though, one thing that I did really like that they did put in there was that they would prohibit racial profiling and excessive force. Like, they would take steps to make it so you can't do that, which is good, because racial profiling is bad. You know, it's basically a stereotype where you look at someone and go and feel like you know them, like you know how their work ethic and how they act towards other people and all this stuff, just based on the color of their skin, or in some cases it's even just a name. Because I have definitely been racially profiled as a Hispanic before, because my name is very Spanish. So I've had people think that, you know, I'm going to be this short, brown, Mexican kid who is lazy as all get out and has no idea what's going on, and instead you get me. Yeah, I have a very Spanish name. Yeah, my family's from Spain, 3rd generation immigrant. I'm proud of it. And, all these people who are immigrating, they're proud of their backgrounds too. They're not gonna just become American just because they're here and working. Like, a lot of Americans go to other places and expect everything to be in English for them and explain to them, and the American customs are the ones that matter more, and not the actual customs and traditions of the place they're going. It's a very ethnocentric view on the world, and, if we have people who come to America, they're supposed to know English and all this stuff, which I think is just a lot of hypocritical bull. But, I do like the whole decreasing racial profiling. That's good. Good point. Another thing that is in that part is, like, they want all the illegals to register, and then they basically get kicked to the line of all the immigrants currently waiting for the green cards, and have to do all the stuff for that, which, makes sense, except if you're illegal and you're still getting by, you're probably not going to go register, so, there's no way, it's really hard to find some of the illegal immigrants if they're off the grid anyway. So, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. And the only exceptions to the getting kicked back to the back of the line are kids, because they don't know what they're doing. Like, they're just going with their parents. They have no say in the matter. Just go. So, they're good. And agricultural workers, oddly enough, which makes sense because the fact that food prices haven't skyrocketed is in a lot of cases due to the fact that farms can pay both illegal immigrants and legal immigrants dirt wages to do work, and to do a lot of work. And, there's millions and billions of dollars worth of food costs that haven't gone up because of the fact that they can pay them that little money. So, it's kind of that draw between giving them the rights that they should have versus keeping prices down so we don't have another economic crash and all that fun stuff, because we're still dealing with the fiscal cliff and all that. So, that's the first part. Second part is improving the legal immigration system, because as both I and the actual plan thing has said, it kind of sucks. Because it's just so many loopholes that you can get through, and depending on who you can get through faster and all this stuff. So I don't really know that much about it because I was born here and didn't have to immigrate, so I don't really know how it works. Which I probably should at some point. But, so it's difficult for people to enter, like, they kind of, like, the immigrants that we want in kind of go, yeah, that's too much work for not enough return, so I'm just not going to bother. Which, if you want them to come, you want to make it worth it for them to come. And, there's a lot of backlogs and stuff, so, like, if one person comes in legally and the rest of their family can't, a lot of times the rest of that family comes over illegally to be, to get together with them and not live apart. So, a lot of the problems with that deal with trying to get new people in, and, like, for this, there basically, if you get a master's or a PhD from an American university in, like, science, technology, engineering, math, like, any of that stuff, and you're on a student visa, you graduate with one of those, they'll give you a green card. Which, that's a pretty good deal, I'd say. Which I think is kind of funny because it's kind of like saying, so instead of getting our students to be the scientists and engineers of our country for the future, we're going to import them. Which I just think is really funny, because I still think you should be focusing more on homegrown scientists and stuff, but hey, whatever floats your boat, political people. you do that. And, you know, like, they're saying the new system's going to be based off of recognizing what's best for the American economy and the family, but it doesn't say anything more than that. So it's like, what are those specific things that are beneficial? Is it just kind of like, as it comes up, you'll figure it out? Or is there going to be, like, this list of guidelines? Or how's that going to work? Because you kind of don't say it in your plan, and you might want to figure that out before actually doing it. And then, third part, the employee verification system. One thing I really like that I think one of the best ways to solve illegal immigration doesn't really have to do with the border. It's making it not worth it for employers to hire illegals. Because if the employers aren't hiring illegals, there aren't jobs, they don't come over illegally. It's that simple. And, you know, they're going to impose fines and criminal punishments, which, you know, you kind of need to do that. Because you stop it at the top, it's, you know, the whole trickle-down economy theory that actually works with immigration. Because if you make it so the employers don't hire, it all trickles down until you don't have the illegal immigrants coming in to get work, because there isn't any. And, like, they are making it possible to bring in, like, when there are jobs, you can bring in immigrants, but only if you have proven that you've tried to get Americans and they've all said no. So, you know, it's fair enough. Except the fact that a lot of the jobs immigrants do, you wouldn't catch Americans dead doing. Like, do you really want to go out and pick oranges in a field for 12 hours a day for, like, even minimum wage? It's just kind of like, eh. And chances are, you know, they might not pay you minimum wage either. So, it's like, I don't really want to do any of that stuff, which is why I'm going to college for, you know, science stuff, so I can either be a professor or research or a combination of the two. So, you know, I get to do that stuff. You know, I don't really want to go out do farm stuff. With that, they are going to do, like, an electronic system of some kind that is apparently unfakeable, which all electronics you can hack in some way, shape, or form, so I don't buy that. And the last one, you know, I basically just said I kind of combined the fourth one with that one, which was the bringing in new workers, and so, yeah, that's kind of the bill in a nutshell. I will include a link to the actual thing down in the bottom, in the description, so you can look at it and see for yourself. Feel free to let me know what you think and all that stuff. You know, both in the comments, you can tweet at me, the Facebook page, email me, whatever you want. All my contact info's down there. I hope all of you had a fantastic start to your week, and I will see you all next Monday. Peace.